Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. This time we're going to be talking about Floppy Knights. This is a pretty fun game, or at least it combines two genres that I think are really awesome. This is kind of a tactical RPG and also a card battler. And to call it tactical RPG is probably not the right word to say. Maybe closer to like Advance Wars and a card battler. Yeah, that's probably a little bit more accurate. So it's a pretty fun game. It's pretty cool. There are some weird things in it that I don't necessarily like that much, but for the most part, it's pretty awesome. So in this game's world, it's basically everyone can use magic for the most part. Or at least it seems that way from the way the opening story was set up. And your character is using some combination of technology and magic. She's created like this weird bionic arm thing that has a monitor on it, and she talks to it, and it's called Carlton. It's very weird. Just sitting down and like thinking about it and then trying to write out what I was gonna say. It sounds very strange, and for some odd reason it all seems to work pretty well. So you're doing a lot of the same things in this game that you would be doing in like most tactical games. You're moving your characters across the grid, you're trying to line up different attacks against the enemies. You've got some tiles that are kind of impassable, so they make sort of a choke point for you to travel through. And then you have a few that add extra defense to your characters. The thing that's different is that you have one card that is kind of you have one creature that is kind of your commander. And if that dies, then you lose the game. And then you have a bunch of other like creature cards that you can occasionally draw during each turn. And if those die, it's not really that big of a deal. You also have to draw movement cards and attack cards as well, which I don't know. That's one of the things that I think is just kind of weird, especially drawing like the movement cards. But I don't know, that's just kind of this game's gimmick. It's one of the things I don't really like that much about the game, is that you have to do that sort of thing. The cards add kind of an interesting dynamic to it, even though I think in some cases they went a little overboard with them. I would have liked this a lot. Well, not really a lot. I would have liked it a little bit more if you could just move your characters around instead of, waiting for a movement card to come up. That kind of feels a little weird, and at least in my opinion, that it's kind of stupid. Just to say it the way I feel. I think that part of it is kind of stupid. On the other hand, I like the deck building kind of mechanic in this. So I mentioned it earlier when I was talking about kind of the tactical screen, but you have to like draw a hand. So you draw like 5 cards, and you pick different stuff from there. So on any given turn, you might not end up with a movement card, but you'll end up with like an attack card or a special attack or a buff or something like that. And that's pretty awesome. I like that you can add different creatures. It kind of feels like there's just a real flow to it. So far, the only things that I've been gathering are plants, which I guess makes sense because, you're playing with a plant deck and everything. I haven't noticed any like particular weakness with your characters, like a weakness to fire or weakness to ice, that sort of thing. I don't know if that'll come up at any point. It would be kind of fun if it did, but yeah, I'm not sure about that yet. Another cool thing with the decks and the cards and whatnot is that you can it says you can craft new cards, but that kind of feels more like you're just going to a shop and buying them. You also can gain new cards at the end of like your different battles and that sort of thing. And you do get like new commander cards, so you don't have to keep using the same one, which I think is all pretty well done. It feels a little bit like Magic the Gathering or like the Pokemon collectible card game or trading card game. Those are really the only two that I think like really apply to this, but whatever. And then you kind of get a little bit of the story here. Of course, you have a rival in this because you have to have a rival in a card game. Otherwise, stuff just doesn't work out for you. Their relationship is strange, and yeah. I also just want to talk about the art style for the characters and everything. It feels a lot like a cartoon that might have been on in like the early and mid 2000s that I would have ignored, but I can see it kind of growing on me because in some cases it's pretty adorable. In other cases, I'm just generally confused as to what I'm looking at. And I'm at this point, I don't really know if I like it or not, at least the art style. So yeah, overall, I think this is a fun game. Having fun with it so far. It's got some weird stuff in it that I don't really like. That's just kind of a quirk of the way they've added card battling to something like Advance Wars or another game or another tactical RPG or something like that. I keep defaulting to tactical RPG. Oh well. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below, and have a great day, everybody. Bye.